I am Martina Merch, and I help women to overcome emotional eating, heal their relationship with food so that they can eat mindfully and intuitively without guilt or shame and show up confident in their life. Welcome to this introductory video about the mini course that's called It's Not About Food, First Steps to Overcome Emotional Eating. And I'm so happy that you're here and that you've decided to change your relationship with food and overcome emotional eating, or maybe you're just thinking about it at the moment. If you're like most women I coach, the road that brought you here has had a lot of ups and downs, and I know this because it's been the same for me. For many years, actually 10 years to be exact, my relationship with food could be summed up with three words, and that is struggle, restriction, and fear. And I felt like I was obsessed with food and couldn't stop thinking about it. I would regularly find myself at the bottom of the peanut butter jar or around empty packages of cookies, and I just didn't understand why it just happened. I was ashamed of my eating, and I was hiding it from my friends and family and kind of even from myself. And I prefer to eat alone so that nobody can judge me on my food choices or how much I eat. Basically, I was mainly judging myself. I was gaining weight because I was obviously eating when I wasn't hungry, and I knew that I'm not hungry, but I just couldn't figure it out why I felt such a strong need to eat anyway, and I couldn't stop it. When it comes to food, I was also categorizing foods into good or bad, healthy, unhealthy, clean, junk, and what was actually truly unhealthy was my relationship with food. I gave food moral value as well, so based on what I ate, I was good or bad. If I ate something bad, I was bad and my day was already destroyed, and if I ate good, I was so proud of myself and everything was great. Um, in those moments that when I felt the urges to eat, I knew that I'm feeling uncomfortable, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I was focused on the act of eating and how to stop it. I thought that there was something wrong with me. I was asking myself why I just can't eat like other people, why I just can't eat normally. I thought that I'm sure that no one else struggles with this. I felt like an alien. And ultimately, I always thought that this is an issue of my willpower, my self-control, and my motivation that I can't stop eating. And in my mind, fixing myself meant doing more. So I thought, like, if I could just diet more, exercise more, be more strict, have more motivation or willpower, eventually I'd feel better and happier and I reach my goals, right? And then whatever plan I was following inevitably failed, because it always did, and I would come down extra hard on myself. I felt like a total failure. I was thinking that I'm doing well in other areas in my life. I can be very disciplined. So why this is something that I just can't figure out and I can't have under control? And I see other women doing the same thing, and sometimes without even realizing it. And inevitably, we just come to a certain breaking point, and I got to that breaking point a few years ago, and I just didn't want to feel that the eating is happening to me, not that I'm choosing to do it, and that I have no control over it. I am controlled by food. I didn't want to be stuck in that cycle of like eating by the rules during the week and then feeling good about myself, and then after a few days binge and feel guilty and ashamed because it was just unsustainable to keep going that way. The deprivation and the cravings were crazy. I didn't want to be thinking about food all the time. I didn't want to wake up and first thing walk to the kitchen and have food, and while eating breakfast already thinking, when can I eat next, what can I eat, how many calories it has, does it have too many carbs, and all these things around it, just playing over and over again in my head whole day. I didn't want food to be a force that controls my life and happiness, because it was affecting so many other areas of my life as well, like my social life, because I was scared to be around certain food, or if I'd done a workout, I didn't want to destroy it with eating out, or it affected my confidence and dating life. And generally, like, preoccupation with food didn't allow me to think about other things and being more creative, for example. And I just didn't want to use food to comfort myself all the time. So I said enough, and I decided to make peace with food. Um, I decided to find out what is really happening in those challenging moments when I felt those urges to overeat. And I would just wanted to be able to do things like eat my grandma's pie without guilt. I wanted to have just one piece of chocolate and move on with my life without having to come back multiple times for more and more pieces until the whole chocolate is gone. I wanted to be able to trust myself around food and think about what I can learn, where I can travel, what can I create, instead of, again, what's my breakfast, how many calories it has, and what about the macros, when can I eat, is this too much, and all this over analyzing. I just wanted to feel free. So I started exploring what's happening when I feel those urges to eat and reflecting back on those overeating episodes. And what I realized is that it's not about food. It was about things like my thoughts and feelings that were uncomfortable. It was about events or situations that were too hard to deal with, and my way of coping with all of this was food. On my journey, I also let go of diets, food rules, and I started listening to my body more, as scary as it sounded at the time, and as scary as it might sound to you right now. And that brought so many questions for me. Maybe you're asking them right now too. And those questions were like, so how do I deal with those thoughts and emotions then? Am I going to gain weight if I'm not on a diet anymore and tracking all those things and allowing myself to eat certain foods? Am I ever going to be able to stop eating if I allow myself to eat my favorite foods, for example, or those foods that were kind of trigger for me before? Or how can I reach my goals if I'm not tracking any numbers? And those are all valid questions, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't easy, and it took some time to be able to trust my body again and reconnect to my body and be able to listen. And stepping away from this mindset can be hard, because it didn't happen overnight that your relationship with food changed. It didn't happen overnight that your relationship with yourself changed. So at the same time, it doesn't happen overnight to reprogram your mind either. But if you stay patient and keep working on it, then the change is permanent. It's not some sort of quick fix. You'll do this for 1 month, and then you'll get back to whatever you were doing before. And I just want to tell you that I am here to support you on your journey. I understand how it feels, and I'm giving you now all the tools that you need to be able to understand and overcome emotional eating and feel fearless around food for good. With that in mind, I've created a 3-week online mini course that is completely self-paced. However, it will automatically create tasks for you and send you reminders to kind of stay on track and stay motivated. And the mini course contains 3 online modules. There are educational videos recorded by me. There is a written text that is explaining how emotional eating works. It's providing guidelines and tips, everything that you need to understand what exactly you're going through and why are certain things happening to you. There are many worksheets there that will help you to figure out what are your specific triggers, how exactly is your relationship with food, and how your past affected how you behave around food certain way today. There are multiple downloadable resources that you can even print out. There are guided meditations that I recorded exactly for this purpose. And there is a bonus 21-day self-care challenge, which you'll find out in the mini course. Why is it so important for this journey? And important thing, you'll have access to all of this forever. And now I'd like you to maybe even close your eyes or just get into a comfortable position and imagine healthiest and happiest version of you. You can even pause this video for a second to imagine all these things that I'll be describing right now to really feel into that. It will be super helpful for you. I'd like you to imagine, how do you feel when you wake up, when you're that healthiest and happiest version of you? What do you do with your day when you don't spend time thinking about food and what can you eat? What would you do? Who would you become? What would you be wearing when you were your new confident self? And I want you to feel into this vision how your day would look like if you were the healthiest and happiest version of yourself, and really feel the excitement. And I just wanted to tell you that the person that you just imagined is always there, and you just basically covered it up. I want to thank you now for watching this video, and so just you to know that you are appreciated and supported, and I hope to see you soon.